This video isn't cinematic, super sharp, smooth, or visually impressive like footage shot by professionals. If you're thinking about buying an action camera, you might be more curious about footage shot by regular users or beginners using default settings, rather than polished professional samples. This video was made for those people and shows real-world footage filmed by a non-professional like myself, using mostly the camera's default settings. The name of the camera used is shown at the top of the video. Since there's little to no color grading or post-processing, I recommend watching with your own eyes and deciding which camera looks more natural or better to you. Rather than giving a right answer, I hope this helps you choose the camera that feels right for you. This is a real-world comparison video filmed on the same day, along the same route, and around the same time using the Osmo Action6 and the AcePro2. I focused on how each camera handles color, exposure, sharpness, and stabilization in everyday situations like changing light, backlight, shaded areas, and walking shots. Since this isn't a comparison using pro-level settings, log profiles, or heavy editing, think of it as how the cameras feel when you just grab them and start shooting. The Osmo Action6 footage was shot in 4K at 30 frames per second with image quality priority turned on and no film tone applied. The variable aperture was set to f2 to f4, stabilization scenario to daily, and no extra image adjustments were made. Footage before the playground was shot in ultra-wide mode, 12mm equivalent, and after that I switched to a more natural wide-angle mode with less distortion. RockSteady stabilization was used to check how well the camera stabilizes while walking. The AcePro2 was shot in auto mode with standard color, portrait mode turned off, and eye log disabled. Exposure compensation was set to 0, white balance to auto, and metering mode to face priority. Anti-flicker was on, sharpness was set to medium, and active HDR was turned off. Stabilization was set to standard, with a 16:9 aspect ratio and 4K at 30 frames per second. These settings were chosen to see what kind of results you can get without fine-tuning everything. Filming lasted about 2 hours, covering roughly 8 kilometers of walking. Even while walking without recording, I kept the cameras powered on. When pressing the record button at the same time, the AcePro2 felt a bit quicker when starting and stopping recording. That said, this could easily be affected by button timing or handling, so take it as a rough impression. After getting home and checking the batteries, the Osmo Action6 had about 64% left, while the AcePro2 was around half. Since there was no long continuous recording, neither camera had any noticeable overheating or recording issues. This video isn't meant to recommend one camera over the other or decide which is better. It's simply to share how each action camera performs and feels when shot under the same conditions. Since preferences for color, image quality, and stabilization can vary a lot, I hope this helps you choose the camera that fits your needs and personal taste.